My ex was the only man I ever really loved.
I think I didn't do anything wrong, just spoke the truth after too many glasses of wine. I said my ex was the only man I ever really loved. My husband didn't argue, didn't shout. He just went silent. And by the time I realized, he had already moved on with legal papers in hand. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible stories. I think I didn't do anything wrong, just said what I felt. My life was fine, or at least I thought it was, until Arnold walked into the room that evening and I saw the look on his face. I'm Riley, 32, and until now, I believed my marriage was perfect. Arnold had always been steady, dependable, the kind of husband every woman brags about. He made dinner without complaining, laughed at my silly jokes, and doted on our daughter Lily in ways that made me feel secure. But lately, everything felt dull, predictable. I wanted excitement, attention, something that made me feel alive again. It started small. A text from Michael, my ex, popped up on my phone. Innocent enough, a casual, "Hey, how's life?" But my heart jumped. I hadn't felt this kind of thrill in years. Arnold noticed the slight smile I couldn't hide and asked if I was okay. I brushed it off, said I was tired from work. He nodded, trusting me as always. That trust is why I could do what I wanted without consequences. At least I thought. I spent the evening scrolling through Michael's updates, remembering the way he used to make me laugh, the adventures we had that Arnold never joined. Nothing wrong with nostalgia, right? I told Lily to pick her storybook, made us hot chocolate, all while planning to reply to Michael later. My friends would have called it harmless fun. Arnold, of course, had no idea how dangerous small sparks like this could be in my hands. Dinner was quiet. Arnold asked about my day. I gave vague answers, pretending to be distracted. In truth, I was thinking about what message to send Michael, imagining the excitement when he answered. I felt a rush, knowing Arnold believed I was just tired from work. He smiled at Lily, and I realized how easy it was to keep up appearances. No one suspects a thing. Not him, not his parents, not even my friends when I share the stress of my predictable life. Later, I went to the kitchen to pour wine, thinking I deserved it. I told myself I wasn't doing anything wrong, just craving attention, a little spark to remind me I existed outside of this comfortable life. Arnold leaned against the doorway, watching me with that calm expression he always has. I smiled faintly, pretending nothing was happening, and felt a thrill run through me. He trusted me. He didn't know I already longed for someone else, someone who made me feel noticed, desired, alive in ways he hadn't in years. That night, I stayed up late, messaging Michael carefully, keeping my tone casual. I laughed at little jokes, feeling a dangerous happiness I hadn't felt in ages. Arnold was asleep in the other room, none the wiser. My daughter Lily slept soundly between us, innocent, unaware of the tension growing silently in our home. And as I set my phone down, I realized this was just the beginning. The first small crack had formed in my perfect life, and I couldn't wait to see how far I could push it before anyone noticed. The next morning, I woke early and made coffee, careful not to wake Arnold or Lily. I told myself I was just being organized, getting a head start on the day. But really, my mind was on Michael. I found an excuse to check my phone, pretending to look at work emails while reading his messages. He was funny, attentive, made me feel like someone cared about me in a way Arnold hadn't in months. I smiled, feeling that guilty thrill curl in my stomach. At work, I kept my distance from Arnold's world, telling myself it was harmless. I shared a few stories with coworkers about Michael, just enough to feel the excitement of being noticed. My friends encouraged me, laughed when I teased Arnold's predictable routines. They didn't know the full story, but they didn't need to. I liked the sense of power it gave me, knowing I could stir a little chaos without anyone noticing. By lunch, I was imagining sending a playful text to Michael, thinking about how Arnold might react if he ever saw it. I knew he trusted me too much, believed in my honesty. That trust was my playground. Later, Arnold called to ask if I needed help picking up Lily from school. I said I had it handled, smiling as he agreed without question. I could feel the tension of our household shifting subtly, like the calm before a storm. That evening, we had dinner together, Lily chattering about her day. I nodded, smiling politely at Arnold's questions, but my mind wandered to Michael's message that had arrived while I was setting the table. I felt alive, electric, even though I knew I was playing with fire. The first real sparks of temptation had ignited, and I had no intention of letting them die out quietly. That weekend, we went to a dinner party at a friend's house. Arnold was his usual calm self, chatting politely, making sure Lily stayed entertained. I, on the other hand, thrived in the attention of our friends. I teased Arnold lightly, pointing out his predictable habits, laughing as everyone joined in. It felt good, powerful to watch him shrink under their eyes while I basked in the spotlight. During the evening, I brought up Michael casually, showing off a story about him on my phone. Friends laughed, asking how Arnold felt about my ex being so friendly. I waved it off, smiling, telling them he was fine, he didn't care. Inside, I relished the subtle humiliation, the way Arnold stiffened but said nothing. He never raised his voice, never embarrassed me back, and that made it all the more satisfying. Lily was tired, clinging to Arnold's hand as he whispered gentle reminders to her. I watched them and felt a pang of something, guilt maybe, but quickly brushed it aside. I was justified. I deserved excitement. I deserved attention. Arnold was too predictable, too stable, too boring, and I was not ready to settle. By the end of the night, I had everyone laughing at Arnold's expense once more. I felt unstoppable, untouchable. But as we drove home, I noticed his quiet face in the rearview mirror. Tight lips, eyes unreadable. That look made a shiver run down my spine. I knew deep down that the cracks I'd been widening in our marriage were starting to form serious fractures. And yet, I smiled to myself, thinking how much longer I could push before he snapped. A few nights later, I finally let it slip to Michael how I felt, how dull Arnold had become, how much I missed excitement. I didn't expect Arnold to hear it, but he did. He stood frozen in the doorway, expression unreadable. I tried to laugh it off, claim it was harmless, but he didn't move, didn't speak. He just walked out, leaving the house silent and heavy. Lily asked where Daddy went, and I forced a smile, pretending nothing had changed. Deep down, I felt the first real pangs of fear. The next morning, Arnold didn't return. I called, texted, even tried his parents. Nothing. Then came the formal notices, legal documents, custody papers, financial protections. My heart raced as I read them, disbelief mixing with panic. He had prepared everything calmly, systematically. All my manipulations, my teasing, my lies, they didn't matter. Arnold had drawn the line, and I was trapped in the consequences I had ignored for so long. Weeks later, Arnold handled everything with quiet precision. Lily's schedule was protected, finances secured, and he moved forward with dignity. I tried pleading, explaining, even charming my way back into his favor, but he didn't respond. I sat alone in the empty house, scrolling through messages that would never be answered. The life I had taken for granted, the control I thought I had, it was gone. Arnold had won, and I was left staring at the ruins of my own making. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next story. Write in the comments from which city you are watching.